What if the peace you enjoy every day isn't the result of diplomacy, but a debt paid in something far more valuable than gold? What if your safety is just a temporary gift from things that haven't been human for a very long time? Your instinct tells you that the world is stable, but deep down in the shadows of your mind, you know the truth is much darker. Welcome to Shadowland, a place where darkness breathes and silence speaks. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on a classified arrangement, a secret treaty signed in a bunker beneath the Ohio suburbs that changed the fate of the American people. Stay until the end. If you want to know what the government actually trades away to keep the lights on. It was 1954 when the first ink hit the parchment. My grandfather was a clerk for the Department of Energy, or so the neighbors thought. In reality, he worked in a limestone basement 3 stories beneath a manicured lawn in a quiet cul-de-sac. He told me once, shortly before he stopped speaking entirely, that the diplomats we met with didn't arrive in cars, they arrived in the silence between heartbeats. The treaty was simple. They would stay in the liminal spaces, the empty malls at 3 a.m., the desolate stretches of the Pacific Northwest highways, and in exchange, we would provide them with the unseen. At first, my grandfather thought it meant resources. Then he saw one of them. It looked like a man in a sharp charcoal suit, but its skin was too tight, like wet plastic stretched over a skull that had too many teeth. It didn't walk, it glided, its movements a sickening parody of human grace. I remember the night he found the ledger. He had escaped to his study, locking the door and pouring a glass of bourbon. He was safe. The house was quiet, the suburban crickets chirping outside his window. He finally felt the tension leave his shoulders then. He opened the book to the final page of the treaty. It wasn't signed in ink. It was signed in the genetic code of every firstborn child in the tri-state area. The realization hit him like a physical blow. The safety he thought he was building for his family was actually the very thing that marked them for collection. He heard a noise, a wet, sliding sound coming from the basement stairs. The bolt on his door didn't just rattle, it dissolved. He didn't run. He couldn't. He just sat there as the door creaked open, and a voice that sounded like 1,000 dead leaves scraping against a sidewalk whispered his name. "The debt is due, Arthur," it said. The voice didn't come from the hallway, it came from the shadow he was casting on the wall. If you want to survive the next night in Shadowland, make sure to subscribe and leave a light on in the comments. It helps us find you in the dark. Sleep well, if you're sure you're the only one who can hear your heart beating.